Leviathan here, in the past few years, McLaren has really expanded on their product line. You have the Sport, Super, and Ultimate series. There's no point going into the distinct models right now, because by the time I release this buyer's guide, there's a good chance the lineup will be completely different. While their models may seem somewhat similar to most, they each have very unique personalities and driving experiences. So there's a good chance that you're going to start to see quite a few 650Ss on the market. So today I'm going to share my experience when I was going through the process of buying a McLaren 650S. We're going to cover three main areas: maintenance, options, as well as price. So let's go for a cruise and talk about the McLaren 650S. Let me just start with some context as to what I was looking for in a supercar. The biggest driver for me is a car that has the best driving experience, the best driving sensation, which is a blend of performance, style, soundtrack, feel. I feel that all those things together really contribute towards the driving sensation, that driving emotion. To me, that's something that really stood out in McLaren. It wasn't just because I was rejected by Ferrari and crossed the street over to McLaren. Although that did give me a chance to really experience their cars, because when I went to McLaren, they essentially said, "Which car would you like to drive?" Whereas Ferrari wouldn't even see me. First comes maintenance. I'm going to make this as scary as possible, because if it scares you, then a McLaren is probably not for you. When it comes to the annual service of a McLaren, it's all around $3,000 to $5,000, which is not bad for a supercar, but you do have to tack on the extended warranty, which is around $10,000. So you are looking at around $15,000 a year just to maintain the McLaren. That being said, you still have to keep a buffer for other elements like tires, the clutch, which is not covered under warranty and can cost up to $20,000. So McLarens are not a cheap car to repair and maintain. And as a result, you have to look very closely at the McLaren's maintenance history, and it's a good idea to have it inspected as well by a McLaren professional. I haven't seen that many garages yet that maintain or repair a McLaren, so there's a good chance that it would have been done by the McLaren dealership, and I really recommend reaching out to McLaren to get as much history on the car as possible. So I cannot stress how important maintenance on a McLaren is. I highly suggest that you get one with the extended warranty. With such limited history on this car, there's no telling what could possibly go wrong, and in my experience it's gone through a lot of repairs, all of which have been covered by warranty. Second are the options. Now that the McLaren 650S has been discontinued, you don't have the option of selecting all the options. I'm going to focus on some of the must-have options, because if you add everything on the list, well, you can easily increase the base price by over $150,000. This car is obviously a Spider, and I feel that is one option that you must have. I feel that it really gives you another way to experience this car. Let's start with the exterior, which is very cosmetic, and it really comes down to all the different carbon fiber options you have. The options I feel are mandatory are the front splitter, rear diffuser, side skirts, and then the side blades. The reason really just comes down to the overall look as well as resale value. You do have the option of buying a lot of these carbon fiber parts aftermarket. Another must-have option is the Sport exhaust. I feel that the standard exhaust is way too silent, but it really comes alive when you drive this car hard. In the interior, I went with the extended carbon fiber package, where you see carbon fiber everywhere, as well as the upgraded Meridian sound system, because I love my tracks. The seats are electric heated and very comfortable, and I do have some practical features like the lift system, which I highly recommend, as well as electric steering and a rear camera. And finally, third comes down to the price, which is an interesting and very sensitive topic when it comes to McLarens, but I am starting to see a very wide band. On the lowest end, you will see a car with very bad maintenance history, no extended warranty, and very limited options. And on the other side of the spectrum, you will find a McLaren with impeccable documentation when it comes to maintenance, very well spec'd out, and low mileage. So I suggest you really do your homework when it comes to finding a McLaren. You can absolutely find one cheap, but it's not something I would recommend. In fact, if I was to buy a McLaren, I would really only go through some very trusted dealerships. And even when you consider things like maintenance and the resale value, the experience I get out of this car is just priceless. You don't base your decision on logic or reason. When it comes to a car like this, it comes down to heart, because that's really the driving factor of picking a car like this. So there you have it. That is the McLaren 650s Spider Buyer's Guide. Thanks for watching. Until next time.